Today I'm going to show you 5 overpowered heroes in For Honor. Now at the end I have a community pick. I asked what y'all thought and y'all made a pretty interesting decision. First overpowered hero I want to mention is Khatoon. Now everybody knows once a new hero releases, they're most likely overpowered for a little while because the devs don't really know where they're at once they release, so they let people play, then they see what they need to nerf. And honestly I don't think it'd be real beneficial for them to make a new hero that's not good off the jump, because it'll make people not want to play them, even if they do fix them later. So that's my theory when it comes to new heroes. Khatoon is an amazing hero right now. She's super powerful. And if you look at her feats, we're just going to cover the first feats for these heroes. We got Relentless, Brutal, Intimidating, and Ultimate Punish. The first one lets you do soft feints without the cost of stamina. Then you got Brutal, which gives you an attack buff after you do your unblockable move with this character. Then if you get the third feat, once you kill somebody, it gives everybody around you a debuff, which allows you to do even more damage. And lastly, you have Ultimate Punishment, which allows you to simply just throw your unblockable, which then would allow you to get this Brutal attack buff, ultimately allowing you to get a ton of damage in. So when taking a look at this hero's moveset, we're not going to cover the full moveset. I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I believe stand out with this hero. So first, let's take a look at the Fear and Fury. So this is the Fear and Fury. Once you do this move, you have the ability to do a light attack or to simply do a heavy attack. And the way you activate this is you simply throw an attack, then tap A, you can soft feint into that, or you can just throw a simple attack, then tap A, and then she will go into that. And as I mentioned before, you get it unblockable. You just press heavy attack after you do the Fear and Fury, press the heavy again, you'll get a pin. And if you do this near a wall, let's say I pin him, hit him, let him go, let him hit the wall, then I'll get another heavy in, which will allow me to have an opportunity to start up another combo. Stuff like this makes Khatoon super powerful. And honestly, when she's running at you with this Fear and Fury, you don't know where these attacks are coming from. And when you take a look at her description, she is a soft feint specialist. That means she can soft feint a lot. So I can throw a heavy attack, soft feint to the left. I can throw another heavy attack, soft feint to a kick. And once again, I can soft feint into the Fear and Fury, which allows me to start up another combo. Now, when you're using this hero, when you want to put pressure on somebody, especially if you're ganking, you can just go into this and feint this. And also when you want to finish people, you can simply do the kick and finish them with a guaranteed light. If you're constantly soft feinting and doing the same thing, people can catch on very easy and start parrying that, and you don't want that to happen. But overall, really solid hero, and I would consider her one of the more overpowered heroes in For Honor at the moment. Now for the second hero I would consider overpowered in this game currently would have to be Lawbringer. Lawbringer got some recent changes that makes him super powerful, and if you played Lawbringer a long time ago, like in the beginning stages of this game, he seems like a completely different hero. He doesn't seem as stiff. He's a lot more fluid. He has a lot more chains that flow together, and overall right now he is a really powerful hero. Now for the people that don't know, Lawbringer got a nickname, and that's Bombbringer, and that's because you can equip so many grenades. And taking a look at the first bomb that you can use, the Fayette Lux, you can now clear minions with that. They originally took that away, but now they brought that back, so you can clear minions with the Fayette Lux. You got the Pugno Mortis, you got the Ignis Ember. Once you get all these feats using all these bombs, it makes Lawbringer super annoying and super powerful, because it's really annoying when you have to jump out of the way of a bomb, especially when you're trying to fight somebody else in a 4v4. And taking a look at his first feat, he has Conquer, Harsh Judgment, and Body Count. Body Count makes him a good hero to stay in the B area, and once again, like I said, if you use Body Count and the Fayette Lux to clear those minions, it's going to give you a good amount of health. And also you can just simply clear minions at a distance, which is always good. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, if you're a player that likes to parry, Lawbringer might be the pick for you. He has some pretty nice parry punishes, more specifically on the light attack parries. So I equipped a light attack with this Warden. I'm going to parry it, press the heavy attack. After that, you can get the heavy in and then a light attack. Lawbringer also has a parry punish that allows you to ledge people. If you can get this off, go to the side, get the heavy in, and then this will allow you to get a wall splat, or this will allow you to ledge people. So if you get this off, parry, go from the side, and you can push people wherever you really want. Now I'm talking a lot about parrying stuff. Well, I'm going to give you one tip that'll really improve your parrying if you haven't done it already. So I've pressed start. We're going to go all the way to options. We're going to go down here to advanced controls, and then we're going to go down to fight controls, tuning, controller, and we're going to go all the way down here to guard mode dead zone. And believe it or not, 6 is pretty high for me. I don't normally play at 6, and if you haven't changed this at all, yours is going to be at a whole 20. This is insane because, as you can see, when I change this circle gets smaller and larger. So when I'm at 20, it's at the largest. And if I go all the way down to 0, this completely eliminates your dead zone. So what this basically is, this is an imaginary circle in the middle of your analog stick. And once your analog stick crosses this line, it will then activate that direction. So with it being at 20, you have a longer distance to cover to swap that guard to get that parry in. But if you reduce this to about 0 if you have a new controller, but if you don't have a new controller, most likely you have some sort of stick drift. So I'll set it to like 3. 4, somewhere around there. And also, if you're playing a full guard hero, you don't want to set it too low, because if you set it too low, you'll accidentally go into that full guard. So I would set it to about 3, 4, somewhere around here. This makes the dead zone a lot smaller, and you don't have to take a long time to cross that gap to switch to the other side of the guard, which allows you to parry stuff a lot more efficiently. That's why you're going against people that parry everything, because they've changed the setting. Hope this helps out. And going back to Lawbringer, something that I really like is the fact that he can bash right after the light attack. Once you get that bash in, you can start up a pretty nice chain and put a lot of pressure on your opponent. Overall, Lawbringer really shines in 1v1s and 4v4s because he's so fluid now, and if you haven't played him, you should definitely try him out. Next, we have one of my favorite heroes, and I truly believe he is an overpowered hero, and sometimes I think he's underrated, but I think it's mainly because he's a more complex hero to play. Not too forgiving for newer players, but once you get his moveset down, he is a crazy powerful hero, and that hero is Shinobi. Shinobi is such a good hero, and even though he's an assassin, he can definitely hold his own during 4v4 modes. And quickly, I just want to talk about some of his standout feats. The 2 feats that really stand out to me is his 3rd and 4th feat on the 2nd tier. The first one allows you to gain stamina on successful attacks, and then the next one allows you to gain health on a successful attacks. This is insane because every time you're hitting somebody, you're getting stamina and you're getting health. And on top of that, you have smoke bomb to accommodate that, which allows you to blind your opponents and allows you to dance between 2 heroes more efficiently. And to top that all off, you have a blast that deals stamina damage, so you could potentially knock your opponents out of stamina while you're doing all this. It's pretty insane once you get going with this hero, and when you have revenge, if you play him just right with your feats activated and all that, he definitely has the potential to take on multiple people during fights, especially while you have revenge and you're getting stamina and health every time you make an attack. So Shinobi has to have one of the more satisfying movesets in this game. So when taking a look at him, if I throw a light attack, then throw a heavy, I get an unblockable. After that unblockable, I can actually do the sickle rain. You just simply press the light attack once you stick him. And if you do the same thing but go from the side, you get an undodgeable attack. If this warden was to dodge, I would catch him anyways. And whenever your hero glows blue during an attack, that means it's an undodgeable attack. Now once you get the sickle rain, you might think it's over, but it's not. You can backflip and go back into another attack and go back into the sickle rain. So if you land 2 of these, you're going to do an insane amount of damage. Now you're not going to get this every time. So I got the sickle rain in, we got the sickle rain, backflip, heavy attack, cancel. And then you can get the guard break in. You don't always have to go through with that unblockable attack. And you can also do the same for the undodgeable attack. Get it, sickle rain, backflip, undodgeable, cancel. So you could do that as well. And another thing you could do is double dodge. So I can dodge once, and then I can dodge twice. But after any dodge, you can always do a kick. And with a kick, you can guarantee a heavy attack. So I can dodge, kick, then I can double dodge, kick. So after I get a kick in, I can get a free heavy attack. So after any attack, you can actually get a backflip in. So I'm gonna just throw a simple attack, backflip, guard break, that gives me a kick. But if you start off with a kick, you can hit him, guaranteed heavy, roll into him, and then get a kick. So once again, I dodge, hit, roll into him, guard break, back, and then I can go into the undodgeable. As you can see, there's a lot of things you can stack up on each other, and I know it can get a little complicated, but once you get this down, you can really confuse your opponent. So I'm going to go kick, roll into him, backflip, go back, go into the unblockable, cancel. As you can see, you can piece together so many different things with this hero and really confuse your opponent. And even though he's an assassin, he definitely still can hold his own in 4v4 modes. And for this next hero, I wasn't originally going to select him, but over time, after playing against a lot of them, more specifically in 4v4 modes, this hero is super insane. And honestly, just by the 4v4 capability that this hero has, makes him a super overpowered hero in my opinion, or her, I should say, because the next hero is going to be Pirate. Now Pirate is a hero that I know a lot of people don't like, but I can't lie, in 4v4 modes this hero is insane. And the reason why I say that is because you can dance around multiple people and do a good amount of damage. Now we're going to quickly take a look at some of her core feats. As you can see, we got the armor piercing slug, fire a bullet that deals damage and lowers defense, launch a bomb that deals damage, fires a bullet that ricochets between enemies, dealing damage and apply bleed. Then you can launch a bomb that deals damage and knocks enemies back and down. Now she also has some other really good feats. She has regenerate, but she also has indomitable. You gain a temporary shield when you're put into critical health. Cooldown is cancelled when you regain health. So even when you're low, you get that little bit of shield so you can keep on fighting. And if you take a look at her third feat, she has tough as nails and punch through. When you use tough as nails, as you can see, it raises your max health when unlocked. This gives her a little bit more endurance. And then you also have a couple more feats that boost her endurance. As you can see, she has bloodlust, and she also has thrilling comeback, which allows you to get health once you go into revenge. Then you also have tireless, and you have bounty hunter. Now hear me out. you throw on Bounty Hunter. You gain health and stamina when you kill another hero. Okay, so then you could pair it with Thrill and Comeback. You go into Revenge during a team fight, you kill somebody, and you also have Bounty Hunter. That's going to give you a good amount of health. And as you can see, you can pair a lot of these feats together so they stack in a way that really benefits you and really supports you in 4v4 modes. This is another one of the reasons why I think Pirate is one of the more overpowered heroes. So taking a look at Pirate's moveset, one of the main reasons why I think Pirate is good is the way she can dance between two heroes. So if you throw a heavy attack, you can actually get the gunshot in by pressing guard break. This gunshot is pretty insane because it turns you into a magnet. And the reason why I say that, so this warden's going to stay in one spot. Alright, so he's going to stay there, and I'm going to throw this attack way over here. Then I'm going to press the gunshot, and as you can see, it slung me way over there and caught the warden. Now you can do this between multiple opponents. Let's say you hit this opponent and then you swap targets and then use the gunshot. It's going to sling you over to the next opponent. Let's say there's somebody behind me and I get this heavy attack in. I could then use the gunshot that comes after that to launch myself over to the next person and then do the damage, and then I can do something like a side heavy to the next opponent. Now if you got like 3 or 4 people fighting all at once, this is super hard to catch on to, because once you get this gunshot in, you can use it to like bring yourself out of range of your original opponent, get damage on the next person, and then go back to fighting both of them at once. And if you're doing this like crazy while you have Revenge, this makes Pirate a really difficult hero to catch on to. And some of the basic movesets I want to cover is the fact that Pirate can throw an overhead. This is unblockable and uninterruptible, so this will allow you to apply a lot of pressure to your opponents. And after any heavy attack, you can actually get the gunshot in. But see, if I do this again, land it, and then press guard break, she'll get the gunshot in. The only downside to Pirate is the fact that she doesn't have many bashes to break up her opponent, but she makes up for that with all her counter moves and the way she can just dance around her opponents, making her a super powerful hero to play. Of course, I'm not going to cover her complete moveset and all the strategies that I use. If you want to see a guide on this hero, let me know down below in the comments. I definitely would like to make a Pirate guide. She's one of those heroes that's just simply fun to play. So for this last hero, I wanted to ask the community, so I chose 4 random heroes that I thought were pretty decent, and I asked who was the most overpowered out of these heroes. As you can see, we got Lawbringer, Khatoon, Shaman, and the Roach. Out of 706 votes, y'all chose the Roach. Now, Roachy is a pretty decent hero, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if he's the most OP, but I think he's a really good hero. So let's take a look at some of the things y'all said. So first up, it says how it feels to know that every hero is good if you know how to play them. None of this meta the BS sweats feed you. So I think what he was trying to get out of that is saying that the sweats feed you BS about what the meta is. I don't know about that. That has a little something to it because everybody has their own play style, so it doesn't mean that you got to use the meta heroes. You can be a lot better personally with a hero that's not as good overall than a hero that is meta, just simply because that lower tier hero matches your playstyle more. Then you got the one below that, it says none of them, it's Shigogi. I'm not gonna lie, Shigogi is a really good hero. As you can see below that, it says yes, we are the best, and then somebody below that says takes the least skill. Now Shigogi has a pretty simple moveset, so I believe to some extent you need some skill because you gotta make that, you gotta be creative and make his moveset work in a way. And then below that it says explain Orochi without any personal feelings. Then you got don't really get why people say Orochi is OP, he's just good. And then below that he says, yeah, I've made Orochi since the beginning. And before his rework, he was just a light spam king for the unskilled. And his rework kept him good, but now you actually have to learn his mix-ups, and they gave him some good ones. I agree with that to some extent. And then you got Roach is not S tier. My personal opinion, he is A tier at best or B. I can see that. I can really genuinely see that. You got to really focus on what your opponent's doing. Now he has some pretty nice deflects, things like that, but he also has some moves that stand out. For one, he has his forward light attack, which is an attack that is actually undodgeable. If you try to dodge out of this attack, you will catch somebody. And something that I like that they added to Orochi a while ago is the fact that he can kick. So you can dodge forward, press guard break, and get a kick in. If you do this kick, you can simply get a light attack afterwards. And he also has the storm rush. If you go back and hold heavy attack, he'll go into the stance. And then you can kind of control where you want that attack to come out. As you can see, if I go overhead, it's undodgeable. If I go from the side, it's just a normal attack. Same goes for the other side. Something that's real nice about Orochi is the fact that you can cover ground with this, get up to him, cancel, and then go into this, which is his back light attack. So you can just dodge back and then do a light attack that launches you forward. But be really careful with this. This can get parried super easy. This can get deflect super easy. And it's real predictable if you just throw it out normally. So be super careful with this. And like I mentioned before, he does have a deflect, but you have to press the light attack button if you land a deflect. As you can see, and if you do this deflect, it's actually uninterruptible, so you're going to land it. And you can follow up with a light attack. Super nice. And just like many heroes, you can follow up with an unblockable heavy attack. As you can see, you can use this to apply pressure to people, then get that guard break. You just gotta really utilize his moveset in a way that allows him to flow and constantly pull in damage and counter attacks when you need to. And as you can see, I'm doing this little feint, then going to the kick. But if you're doing that a lot, you can do something like get the light attack in, cancel, dodge forward like you're going to kick, and then get the guard break. And then every now and then, if you want, you could actually just go through with the kick and then apply that to pressure. You got to use his moveset in a way that really confuses your opponent. These are all some of the main reasons why I think Orochi is a really good hero. Now, is he OP? I don't know. But out of 706 people, that's what they believe. I don't know if I can fully agree with that, but he is a really good hero in my opinion. But that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you think about these heroes down below. I would love to hear what you got to say. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.